Yo, 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 everyone. It's me, ya boy, Ferb, today. Once again, FMA bringing it at you. And with me, I have my partner, Phineas. Rengo, how are we
Hey,
feeling?
what's up? How you doing?
I'm doing really good. I'm excited to get episode 2 on the road. And as guest today, we have the wonderful Brady. Brady, what's the mood like?
Yo, it's good to be back. Good to be on the non-caster side of things today.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm happy and I'm excited to hear what we're gonna banter about today.
Well, we did plan some spicy stuff. We put a lot of attention already towards some of the winning teams, celebrating some of the great winners that went up into Division 1. And today we're going to be spending some time actually talking about some of the lower end teams that didn't quite make it, but that still have a good shot at making it into those playoffs at the end of the season. Rengo, what's the plan for today?
I think we're just gonna talk about the divisions to our expectations about it, like what matches we hyped for. I mean,
Yeah.
and what teams can grow. I think that's the most. I think Div 1 is exciting from the beginning. Div 2 is gonna be super exciting later down the line. I feel
What are you
like
trying to
that's
say about Div 2, eh? Huh? We not
no
exciting
nothing.
enough for it?
No, but like growth. I think Div 2 is gonna be all about growth.
Oh yeah. Okay, respect.
Well, I'm really excited to see that as well. But today we're gonna start out with some of the people that we're gonna be paying like specific attention towards in Div 2, and we're gonna build a super team. Like we're gonna go through every position, and we're gonna have 2 subs and a coach, and then we're gonna build a super team out of all of the Div 2 player pool.
Mhm.
Brady, is there someone like if we were doing draft, right? Like fantasy football or whatever, like is there someone that you would be like, this is my very, very first pick if I was in a scenario like that?
I mean, for me, my first pick is easy. It might be a bit biased considering I'm captain of Team Redemption, but
Mm.
like hands down, first pick, Ari Doa. No one's seen her play yet. No one from my team has been seen play except Ortega in the league. But
Mm.
Doa's the best support in Div 2, at least, hands down. Like,
Okay, we've seen 0
Ooh.
games, and like you're gonna have to give us some of the goods, like what she excels at. Rengo, you know her a little bit as well, right? Personally, from
Yeah, yeah.
playing with her a little bit. What is your first impression of that?
You're gonna either smurf the fuck out of it with her, or she's gonna flash Morgana Q super minions. One of
uh,
those two.
uh,
Does she get
No,
the
but
CS
yeah,
though?
yeah, she is gonna be one of the aggressive supports in the league. She's
Mm.
gonna be the one that's gonna either set up sick plays or big griefs.
I like that. That's a pretty good way
Yeah,
of
but
putting it.
I think that's a good description of Doa of what
We
we will
keep
see
her
of her.
keep her on a leash, Make sure like the big griefs are like kept to a minimum, and we make it work. We make it work. She's gonna pop off all season.
Okay. Well, I think that so far for SLE, we've seen that aggressive supports are like super dominant. Like um, we never see defensive supports really like excelling or standing out. I've seen a couple good Morgana games already, I think. But in those Morgana games, it's the ones that like where Nupa or Zil, like he just hits
Mhm.
every binding, and it's like, well, is this really a defensive support then? No, not really. Not
Sure.
really.
I
Not
mean,
really.
outside of my team,
Mm.
what do you guys think? What's your first pick, right? Because obviously I'm gonna name my players as often as I feel it fair,
Mm.
but no one actually knows who they are yet. So what are
True.
you guys? You guys probably have a more unbiased view on the whole league.
Okay. I think that I would go with what I feel like is probably the best jungler or the second best jungler. I think it's between 2 people for me, which are the
Mhm.
junglers from UE and Arctic Hollow. So I think that um, Landfis and Dreamber are like those would be like one of my first pick.
Like,
Okay.
I think I would first pick Crown the Round King ADC. I
Really?
think I think picking him up, you build a team around him.
Okay.
Is there
okay.
any ADC that comes close to him? You feel like? I mean, I know how Dark Side Rugby is as an ADC.
I think there are two. What do you got to say, Brady?
Yeah.
Oh no, nothing. That's just.
Oh, yeah,
just
it was about you that.
Mhm.
As a
No,
lady
but
candidate might come.
I think that you grab that ADC and you build a team around that man. I feel
Mhm,
like
mhm.
he has definitely the capability to carry
Okay. I think
the.
that the other people that would come to mind are Rickard and Penuzo or Penuz. I think those
Penuz,
two
yeah.
are also
Oh,
looking
true.
pretty good.
I mean, in the jungle, if I'm not mistaken, as well. I know there's Landfist from UE, but doesn't Webby come to mind as well? I don't know if he's still there in the jungle, but definitely.
Isn't Webby
Oh,
the
I'm
main
actually
thing?
I'm actually
Yeah.
turbo trolling. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, of course.
I think you
Webby
meant
is-
Webby with that
yeah,
one.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
right.
I'm actually
Good player, good macro.
yeah. I think Webby.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
I meant Webby. I think Webby's really good.
True, I agree. I think he's probably like again for me my first choice jungler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
okay. Well,
about-
let's now we've like talked about like our initial expectations of like, okay, this is who I would pick first.
Mhm.
Let's start in the top lane. Let's go down strategically and let's start on top lane.
Sure.
Rango, give us some top lane insights. Is there
I'm
anyone in Division 2 that you'd be like, I would want this guy?
gonna be putting out the opinion, and like probably a lot of people are gonna disagree. I would go with not cautious cat.
Oh,
I think that's the
He-
obvious one.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he plays the champions you want, because I've said it out loud before. I think top lane is the weak lane in
Yeah.
every single team, pretty much in
top
SLE.
lane island, weak side
Top
top.
lane, weak
What I
side
like to
top.
hear.
Just
Yeah.
just weak
Mhm.
side top. You know, the man plays stuff like Poppy. I think he plays like the more tankiest champions. You know, that can just sit there, chill, get dicked on a bit. You know, by some Camille, but in the end still be useful.
Mm-hmm.
You don't coin flip the top side. You just get not cautious cat, and
Well,
once in every blue moon he might
okay.
even get his Poppy.
I agree with you, but what about? I know I've been looking around for this player for a couple of for like an hour now. Dead Poppy Tekka from Arctic Hollow.
Yeah, but he's Div 1.
Is he Div 1? Is Arctic Hollow Div
yeah.
1?
Yeah.
Did he move?
No, Arctic Hollow, like that's not Arctic Hollow top laner. I think Yorone is Arctic Hollow top laner.
Oh, still, I like Arctic Hollow's top lane, Yorone. I think he's pretty good. But yeah, I clicked on the wrong op.gg link. It happens.
I think there's a fault in the sheet actually, and not you. But
No comment.
we will do that after the stream.
But yeah, Yorone is also really, really good. I feel like, and his name's got to be thrown in there.
'Kay.
But yeah,
Let's
Well,
try. Let's try to agree on something. Like, do you think that, like, obviously we're 2-on-1 on not cautious cat at the moment. Would you like agree with that somewhat?
I like not cautious cat. I also like Yorone, but I haven't actually given my top number one pick yet.
Let's hear
What
it.
you mean
Let's
for
hear it.
top lane? I mean, are you gonna just call your own team member again?
Look,
Hmm.
look. Hear me out.
Yeah.
Honus, okay, is 10 out of 10 player. I think maybe his champ pool is slightly limited, but like when he's there to game, man games, all right? He's a strong player, and yeah, gotta give him credit. Gotta throw him in there, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, but we haven't seen.
Obviously, that's like the wild card, right?
True.
Like that's why here you're giving us some spice on some of the perspectives on Division 2, but obviously also like talking to us a little bit about like what do you feel good about on your team, because we haven't seen you. So that's why I like specifically wanted to have you on for today, because I think that perspective is actually really important to have.
True. I mean, I just named my whole team, and no one knows anything about any of them, so it's like,
Yeah, no one.
Yeah, my team is
No one's
the
gonna call me out.
super team of Div 2. You guys don't know anything about them yet. You guys are gonna be all surprised, but we can't wait for you to go 0-5 first few rounds.
Well, I mean, we're against UE game 1, and I'm
Yeah.
like, they're a strong team, so we'll see. Like, I think our first game is gonna set the tone for the rest of the tournament.
Okay. I mean, we mentioned
Easy win,
Rickard
easy win, easy
Dunbar.
win.
We mentioned Rickard Dunbar. Do you feel confident in the 2v2?
True.
Like you say, like you obviously believe in yourself, and you clearly believe in your support. Do you think that you
Listen.
have it in the 2v2?
I think the realistic way to go about it is if we don't have first blood by level 4, we're probably gonna sprint the whole game. But if we get first blood by level 4, we're probably gonna roll the whole game.
Okay.
And I think Rango might agree with that sentiment.
Yeah. I see you get like 4-0
Nah,
and then
never.
I mean, I saw yesterday's flex game.
Wait, what was it? What was I playing
The
yesterday?
Draven one. The Draven one.
Oh no!
Where you were
Listen.
4-0 at one point, and
No.
it was questionable
Yeah,
afterwards.
but Doa carried. Doa popped off that game. It's fine.
The flash kill minion
Yeah,
was
yeah,
good
yeah.
shit again. No, but
That's what you can
yeah,
expect to see in the league.
that's definitely going to be an exciting part to watch of that game. The bot side.
Yeah.
You better believe we're flipping all our games level 2. Let's go.
That's what we like to hear. All right.
Is that the evolved flash forces? Instead of flipping at level 1, you flip at level 2?
No, but we buy items. You know, it's a bit more refined.
I see you.
A man of class and culture.
Oh man.
All right.
But yeah, where were we?
We kind of like wrapped up a little bit on top side, so I think that we're going with non-cautious cat because like of the weak side player. So I think when we continue building our team, we can also like sort of talk about the dynamic that we actually built throughout the team. Like, we can keep some of the things in mind that other people said. Like, for example, if we're gonna pick Doa and we're gonna say like, I mean we can't pick Doa because she's played 0 games, but
you can't pick Doa.
True.
And I feel a little bit biased here.
Who, me? Nah.
Yeah,
But honestly, I think she's one of the best supports in the league.
Okay. Well, but like we can continue that theme. Like we're gonna have like, okay, well now we have a sort of good weak set top laner. Now we can maybe have a strong bot lane or someone that like specifically likes to carry through jungle and like have a good jungle 2v2. Like that's something we can think about. Do you guys have anyone like directly in mind for jungle?
Webby. We mentioned him earlier.
Yeah.
Your
Webby
first
is-
draft pick, if you had the choice, I think Webby is the one to watch.
Is it Webby Wangu? Do you just go Webby Wangu mid jungle 2v2?
Ooh.
That's what I would pick. If I
You think
look,
so?
if I'm not picking Ortega and GM Uncertain, I'm picking Webby and Wangu, right? No.
If you had to rebuild a team without those players, that's what you
But run times mid laner is really good too. Like if you take away the synergy that Webby and Wengu already have, right?
Yeah.
I think run times mid laner could be a really good one too. But they haven't had the
really? You think so?
games. Yeah. Was it runtime or was it Insomnia?
I think you mean
I
because
think-
Insomnia has Frey, and Frey is
Oh yeah,
like,
Frey. I'm sorry.
Frey is like turbo resistant, and like I said earlier that we can have subs. Like Frey is up there for like first of the subs that I would pick because that
I'm
man
Frey,
seems
even when
really
losing, looks good. Yeah, he's.
Yeah, it's Frey.
Is
I'm
it-
sorry.
Is runtime Danny? Is that runtime?
I don't know. I meant the team Insomnia. I fucked up on that one.
Yeah.
So
But-
yeah, I think Frey
yeah.
is a really good.
Sure. But my question is, again, I think Frey is good, but I think Webby Wengu just edges out for me.
Yeah, for sure. Especially in that 2v2 synergy, right? Like we want to keep
True.
that, like, we could sort of like emphasize that a little bit more. That we like to see
Team
them play
synergy
together.
already.
Yeah. So I think that's something really, really valuable. Is there anyone else that comes to your guys' mind when we talk about good junglers?
Trying to think.
Dreamber? Would you like Dreamber?
Crowned jungler isn't too bad either. I think he would be a good.
Darkshin, yeah, I think Darkshin like really carried their last game as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I
obviously League things had like the mechanics, but
Someone's got to put in the groundwork, the dirty work, the unseen hero.
Like exactly.
Who's
like,
the
he
top
set
laner
that
of-
team up.
Of Crowned again. That guy is actually a
Lunge.
super good. Lunge is actually a super good safe top laner too.
Mr.
I don't
Dad
know.
bod
He's
himself.
he's a bit of a flipper. Like he likes to go for those quirky, run
Sure.
around the rosy. I'm just gonna like try to escape by walking through the entire enemy jungle and then through 2 turrets.
Okay,
Yeah,
like a
like-
Trick
Sin.
2G kind of player.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
it was,
draw the
it was good
entire
to
team.
watch.
Just
It was
draw the
good to-
entire team to you,
And
and
he
then
did. He really did because they could perma set a bot side, and he basically never died top lane.
Damn, fair play to him.
So I think that Darkshin definitely an honorable mention, maybe potential like bench candidate. I think like someone that we can consider as substitute. So if we don't go with Webby Wengu, which are like 1 and 2, I think we could go with Darkshin Frey. Am I
Sure.
getting this
yeah,
right?
that would be yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Chad also
it's
That
really
would be
easy
like our
to
second
say.
pick.
I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really easy to say Webby Wengu, right? Because
Yeah.
you know they have synergy and everything. But I feel like if you make a draft team like this, you should not take the already existing synergy in part.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
that's unfair for the other junglers. Because
Yeah,
if you have like
they look good.
yeah, they look good together, but then you're like,
True,
well,
true.
how do they look when they're apart, like when they're solo?
I agree, and I think, I don't know, but like, I want to go back to jungle and just say I want to throw Mythical's hat in the mix from Team United War Unicorns. I actually don't think his volley bear is that bad. I think perhaps a bit of a question mark for chat or maybe for you too, but I think there's a lot more to see from him.
Okay. I just haven't seen enough from his pathing so far.
True,
I
true.
think that his early game pathing on the J4 and the Xin Zhao has been pretty lackluster. And like even though they secure themselves early game advantages, like there's just not enough happening at the end of the day, and like that sets them behind in some scenarios. I feel like.
Can the same not be said for Frey? That perhaps he looks good, but
I think he looks
is
good
it quite
individually
enough?
in 1v1, but like everything around him is going doom and gloom. Like
Sure,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Obviously, in the match against RT1, Frey had a turbo-fed lane opponent, but like it's not like he ran it down. But it's just Nocturne kept ulting everyone on the map, and they wouldn't win because they were turbo outnumbered all the time.
Sure, okay. But yeah, I don't know.
How did you
I
feel
mean,
about
we're
that?
talking about the team or
Yeah,
like the game
yeah.
we played against them,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I mean,
Were you gonna say something
that
other
was
than played? Were we gonna say? You gonna maybe use no? Just played
Oh, I
forward?
was just gonna say play, but like poor Frey couldn't do stuff like shit at all. Like,
true.
I
saw that as
the man, like, the moment he got the gold from
Mhm.
us, like running it, like over pushing our lead,
Yeah.
he was able to use it too. He utilized the gold he gained. Like, he should have never gotten the gold. We misplayed there, right? But when he got it, he was putting it to work.
Yeah.
He looks good. He looks good, I guess. Yeah, true. Okay, I like that. It's good reasoning. But I think we touched on it already with the Webby Wengu. But synergies aside, are there any other mid laners that you like to throw into the gauntlet here or nah? Besides,
No.
obviously, my
No,
man.
I think Frey Wengu is the one
I mean,
of the two you would
supposedly
pick up.
Arctic Hollows mid laner is pretty good. I
Mhm.
just haven't seen enough. I've seen like a little bit. I've seen like glimpses. I've seen like good moments from him, but like they weren't consistent enough over a single game, and like there are just far too many pitfalls for them. I feel like.
Bit of a Jizuke type player. He sees what's on his screen, and that's about it.
No,
From
no,
a
I
few
wouldn't say
seasons
that.
back. Feels bad,
Because
man.
Jizuke is like like an aggressive playmaker. Like he forces things
Yeah.
on his team and his enemies.
Sure. And you don't think it's the same of Articolo's mid?
Yeah, I think that he just like had some moments where he looked mechanically pretty good and his decision making was pretty good, but like other than that,
Sure.
there's been like I think he's gotten like solo killed at least 3 times in lane already.
Sure, that's fine. And okay, something important to also ask as a whole, right? We're building like not just a team, but a team that's going to function well together, right? We've already talked about picking potentially like strong or weak side king, not cautious cat. Some good macro in Weeby mid laner. We're deciding just about now. But do you think there are in what we picked there are any like playmakers or shot callers? Because obviously that's going to be super important for the team as well.
That's an hard one because
we don't hear the
we
comms,
don't
right?
hear the comms, right? Like,
Yeah.
So that's a really hard one to say, but I feel like Weeby should be. I feel like Weeby might be the one there, and like
Sure.
it's hard to say. Like I don't think you can say much about this until like you go into the channel and just sneakily listen.
I
with
kind
them.
of disagree with that sentiment because, like, I think just off the top of my head, seeing CCG play from Div 1, I think just looking by the way they play, a lot of what happens around their jungler Kung Fu. So I think if you were going to draft a playmaker in, say, Div 1, I might look towards Kung Fu. And I think Weeby is another player that, based on the way he plays and the kind of resources he gets from his team, seems to be more carry / shot caller orientated. I don't know how better to say that.
I mean, but isn't your setup anyway? Like in most teams, it's going to be like you want your jungler to be shot caller, especially early game, because he's the one that's going to make moves. If you don't put it on your jungler, you put it on your support pretty much, or your mid laner. And then mid game to late game into team fights, most of the times the shot caller is the one that has the tools or the
time to think a bit.
Yeah, but the tools, like the person that initiates the fights, like you have a knowledge on bot lane, that's your only engaged tool.
True.
Well, then knowledge is going to dictate the fights, when to fight and when not to fight.
I agree.
Your main shot caller will still say like, yo, we contest this dragon. The knowledge tells you when to contest this dragon.
But I think that's I think that's a little bit of an outdated view, in my opinion, because I think that you can have far more dynamic comms in like if you have like the proper setup for it. Because I think that realizing the strong points on the map can like dictate so much. Because you can have a pretty calm jungler that doesn't talk too much, but you have like laners that constantly communicate their lane states, that like tell the junglers like, okay, well, I'm gonna push this, and then in a minute and a half this is actually gonna bounce back, and then we have a gank set up, or we can dive them, and like we can slow push and dive them. And I think that a lot of that can actually come from the jungler, from the laners. Like I think in Momentum that seems to be the case, and they're very successful in doing that so far, at least. I don't know. Yeah. And then I think we can also look for like playmaking and stuff. Then we can definitely, like we asked, okay, well, we don't really have like big playmakers so far, or like, well, maybe Webby is one, but he hasn't really been able to show that, like, right? He's Division 2 so far.
His team has also just looked good as a whole. So maybe he hasn't really had to, he's maybe lost a few games, but I feel like all of their losses have been really close.
Yeah.
So perhaps he doesn't have to pull it out, or doesn't really see
I mean, if they lose, and then you can make the argument, in my opinion, he didn't have to pull it out. Like, it's a loss. You did have to pull it out, and you didn't.
He just didn't pretend. Yeah, by the time maybe he found himself losing, he was like, "Oh wait, I should have been making more plays that I could be making." But
that I think is fair. But that makes it a lot harder, because then we have to ask very critical questions about what support we want. Like, we've already mentioned a couple 80 carries, and we can get to that in a bit. But, like, let's talk about supports that can actually, like, make things happen. And, like, I think it's looking not so good in Division 2. Like, I'm a huge fan of the Division 1 supports, but Division 2 struggles quite a bit. Is there anyone that comes into your guys' mind?
I mean, I think Brady and me are just going to say the same answer here on this one. If we're looking for a support that's going to get shit done.
The thing is...
You can't say Doa. You're not allowed. You're not on Brady's team.
I know. But I know her personally. That's the only.
Having seen Doa and play with Doa now for a little bit, like, okay, she's good at like creating engages, but I actually feel she finds her real comfort on like more enchanter type picks, in my opinion. But that's just my personal opinion. She can also 100% coin flip the game level 2 on Leona. That is 100% in her arsenal. And I'm more than happy to go in with her. But yeah, if you're looking for hard engaged support, I think Doa is one. I think off the top of my head, I can't... Like, I think Rango is kind of right in this situation. There aren't a ton of super strong Div 2 players. I think we're going to be more focused on 80 carries, mids, and jungles as far as your engagers and your super carry type
I
players.
mean, the best way to go through this is let's just go by every team one by one.
Sure.
So
I have
you
one
start.
pick. I have one player that I want to mention, and I have a good reason for mentioning him because I think that Arctic Hollow support is actually like, even though they flip the game a lot, he is one of the reasons they flip. But he is someone that tries to make things happen, and I think that's really really valuable if you have like a solid stable core that like is
Mhm.
playing around that. Because I think that there's been a lot of synergy missing from Arctic Hollow, which has been admittedly disappointing from a team that we were expecting to exactly have that because of the hype that was put around their coaching staff.
Mhm.
But I think that Sean is like, out of all of these supports, I would pick him, like straight up.
The problem is I have not been able to catch any Arctic games
Okay.
pretty much. I have only seen like bits and pieces of it, so I cannot give a
Do
honest opinion
you
about it.
do you remember what champion Sean was playing? Did he play an Alistar game, or am I just completely talking like trash?
No, that's the Zero Gaming. Is it Zero? I think it's
There
Zero,
is
right?
the Zero Gaming support. No, that's the yes, the Zero Gaming support played it. He looked really really
Mhm.
good. He played it twice, I think.
Mhm, mhm.
I think he played. So they were in a group with a disqualified team.
Sure. Okay. So it's
So
kind
they
of
only
hard
played
to.
2 games, I believe.
Yeah.
And I think that he played Zillion for a game. And
Okay.
the other one I don't. I think the other game was Leona or Morgana.
Well, yeah. Okay. I was gonna say with a Zillion pick, especially with the kind of team comp we drafted, we want a big playmaker, in my opinion. And I don't
Mhm.
know if Zillion offers a ton of that, but I guess if he's playing the Leona Morganas as well, it's like I'm happy to throw his name in the pit. But I'm 100% siding with Doa here.
I mean, I feel like people don't give Cillian enough credit for what he is. That man
Can't kill
gives
you in the future, bro.
That man gives what is it, 90% movement speed to one of your allies twice
If
in a row.
If we're looking for
Bruh,
a
you see
playmaker, though,
fucking Set coming at you with Mark 5? You be fucking afraid. Like all you need is someone with like a little bit of CC, like some good hard CC on top lane. Cillian just fucking says like go.
Chucks a
And
bomb on
yeah,
him, slaps him on the butt, and pushes him in. He's just
yeah.
he's
Fucking said be like send me
Zillion
in,
is
coach.
Zillion is like a bird's mother. Like you don't get taught how to fly. You just like shoved out of the nest.
Yeah. And then
bad.
you think like, okay, well, it's fine. You know, my LeBlanc is gonna deal with that ADC. Fucking Cillian just presses nope.
No, she's
True.
not. No, she's not. I just think that I would like to see the aggressive mindset of Sean,
Yeah.
paired with Pinuzo. I think that could be really good.
But yeah, I'm happy to put Sean there while Redemption is a bit unknown at the moment.
Uncertain.
Yeah. True. But yeah, anyway. Last pick, 80 carry for the starting roster.
Yeah.
I think we've spoken about it already. I mean, for me, it's me, but for me, he no cap, maybe Rickard.
Up there,
But,
definitely up there. I think he's like he would be my second pick. I think my first pick is definitely with Pinuzo.
Yeah, he's
because he's also like an aggressive player. He's the kind of player that just like randomly flashes in.
True.
And
if
like,
you're gonna coin flip,
yeah,
you got to coin flip with your 80 carry. You know what I mean? He's got to be there with you.
yeah,
Wait,
and I
Pinuzo
think that
was-
would work well with like the Zillions in this world, right?
True.
Because if that Tristana jumps in, like plays the bongs in the team fight, just hits
Yeah.
all of the buttons on her keyboard, maybe like picks it up, hits it against her head.
The Mac
like,
5 Trist, the Mac 5 Aphelios, something like that, just running at you. It's like, oh god. But yeah, I don't know. What about you, Rango? You got anything too different?
I heard that Arctic Hollow. Is that Pinuso?
No,
I
I
don't
I don't know why Sanix keeps saying it. I have no
mean,
idea.
I
That
know
bottle
why,
looks
but
so
he
out of whack. But he just keeps saying it. I don't think he's actually watched Dr. Call.
Do we trust? Yeah, do we trust Sanix on it?
No.
When is it ever correct to trust Sanix ever? Come on now.
True.
Guys,
Trusting him on Smite is like the worst thing you can do. But no, but what did I want to say? Because I didn't watch any or like almost nothing of the Arctic Hollow. I feel Just League things it would be the saver pick for me. So Yeah,
But do we want safe? We picked safe, and then we picked playmaker. I mean, support can just run around and do whatever he wants forever,
Yeah.
I guess. You're a second jungler if you want to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm down to pick a safe bot laner as well.
Really? I want
mean,
an aggressive AD.
You think this league thinks isn't aggressive enough?
No, I think he's good, but I think that he's someone that has to be peeled for. Like severely peeled for in the comps that they play. And he's good. I think he's like one of but he wouldn't fit in my idea of what this team is trying to achieve, I think. And I think that like there's too much laid backness coming out from the rest of the top side of the map.
But my question is then, right? Either you pick like a safe ADC, your support can go roam, and like you can really push your mid jungle advantage there, or you pick an AD carry that wants to go in, and then you kind of not like the old protect the puppy kind of style where the jungler can kind of hover bot and he brings out his Lucian Uzi style and just tries to hard win lane, but.
It's funny that you mentioned Uzi because like obviously the Chinese support meta is roaming, right? Like Crisp and what's the other support? Oh, I was almost gonna say Baolan, guys. Don't not Baolan, guys. Get that out of your head. But like Crisp, like obviously one of like the best roaming supports to maybe have ever played the game.
True, but Uzi's retired now, so
yeah,
doesn't matter. Never won Worlds, Sag.
Sag
but
indeed.
Yeah, I don't know.
At least his org won. His org did win RNG the year after he left it, which is.
Yeah, but is that something to say? Is there something to say there then for like playing? I don't want to say full protect the puppy comp, and by that I mean giving him the tools to play aggressively early, or you just say support. You go with your jungler and the mid laner, and you three just wrecking ball the map, and then the lead will come to bot eventually. And you have
there
a safer.
Plenty of teams that actually play around bot side. I know I'm gonna get flamed if I mention an A, so like I'm not gonna specifically talk about 100 Thieves, but that's what EDG does, right? EDG has the best AD carry in the world. Like it's undeniable that Viper is just a fucking monster down there. And he's the late game win condition, like. And I think that if you have, I think we're very much in a meta where having we're playing around bot lane is not the way. But I think that from what I've seen, especially from Penuzo so far, is like he doesn't need to be played around. He plays around you. Like he just like comes mid lane level 4, and I'm like, okay, well he just flashed forward at level 7.
He just towered over with his mid laner level 4. It is what it is. Some crazy stuff. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like this is someone that is not necessarily put me in a pocket like RT1 AD carry Toto, right? Like he's a classic.
Yeah.
Put me.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
If you carry me early, I carry you late. AD carry. I think very valid style of playing, but I think that Penuzo doesn't really fit that. He's more of the Karzi type of like play the bongos and then just like deal as much damage and drop dead.
Yo, I'm a big fan of that kind of playstyle myself.
I can imagine.
Go in, press all your buttons and pray, and maybe you kill them, maybe you just int. It is what it is.
Man, that sounds like Rengar's playstyle. Just press all the buttons. No, but I get what you mean with it. Just wanting the aggression. I mean, there are champions on bot side that can definitely do that. Tristana, like getting that Tristana that like on a player like that, like the enemy team is not gonna have fun because as soon as one player dies, one tower is gonna fall. If
guys, we're building a team here. We could just like say, okay, then we have a different AD carry that we want to sub in for like different situations.
Yeah. But what I will also say is, right, and I like that line of thinking, is where we can sub in the safer AD carry when we don't feel like playing quite so much for the bot laner that, the whole I carry you early, you carry me late sitch. But like, what is the most like consistent and effective way to play? Is it like, hey, we're going to play for mid and then mid can help the jungle? Hey, we're all just going to help the jungler? Or do you think it's like a mix and match depending on like game states and champion matchups?
You mean in SLE itself or in general?
I mean, we talk about both, right? Let's say in general because first, and then SLE because look, we're not all T1 or RNG or whatever good team there is at the moment. 100 Thieves from NA, best team ever.
No,
But yeah,
I
what do
think
you
in
think?
SLE, if you play for topside, you're grieving.
You're griefing, bro.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you play for topside, you're grieving in SLE.
I,
There are
unless your top laner turns out to be actually good, in which case like you will
you're
probably
not playing in
stomp Division
SLE.
2. Like
Yeah,
if
true.
your top laner is the best top laner, you will probably stomp SLE.
True.
Good to know.
True.
Good to know. See you in first place. God damn.
Okay.
No, but
Big words, big words.
no, just play with your around your mid and your bot side. I
Mhm.
feel like that's the best way to play, especially Div 2. Like,
Sure.
I mean, if like
for Division 1, you just play through jungle. Like you just put all your resources in jungle. You say goodbye, Mr. AD carry. I'm Leona. I just go perma with jungle. We gank mid lane
True.
permanently, and then we have Twisted Fate mid lane. Which why does no one play Twisted Fate? By the way, what the hell? We're talking about
I mean,
like roaming and diving, and no one plays Twisted
Rise
Fate.
TF.
And then
yeah.
people pick up Galio. Like
Mhm.
I mean, we
Where's the
played
Twisted
Twisted Fate. The execution
Where's the
was a bit
Rise? Where's
shit.
the TF? Galio is okay, but I think Rise is just better, in my opinion.
yeah, I mean Chovy played Galio today, and not to spoil anything. But Chovy's at Worlds, guys. How did they do that? Crazy.
Wait, oh, I saw that. We're talking about game 3. Anyone saw game 3? That was
Yeah.
hilarious.
I didn't
Um,
see shit the last few days. I saw a bit of Fnatic and Mad Lions. and
Yo,
Fnatic
imagine
Rogue.
being like 20 CS down by level 3 bot lane. Jesus, how did that even happen?
That dude,
But
Def
yeah.
was a monster. Def like
But
got
yeah.
unleashed. Yeah.
I think that I haven't seen enough Rise abuse because there's nothing worse. Like you just shove wave to,
Rise.
but you just shove wave to level 6, and then you just go cool. We probably picked like a Renekton top. Jungler goes top. We're just gonna go tower dive him. Rise ults in. He can even take a minion wave with him if he really wants to. If he goes through top lane, and you just kill them.
Yeah, but
Cool,
there's
free
been
kill.
a ton of Rise. Like I've seen at least 4 games.
But I feel like it doesn't like get around the map enough.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I think that's.
And I know
I think
Rise,
there's a lot of Rises that aren't really unlocked by their jungler and
Yeah.
mid. Because, like, if you want to have a roaming mid laner, you need to free the mid laner up to actually roam. Like, you can't
But
just
do you?
expect
I feel
him-
like Rise just
I think
does
Twisted
free
Fate
himself.
can kind of do that, but Rise takes too much setup.
Does he? I feel like he just perma shoves, and there's nothing anyone can do to contest.
But
Really,
the
once
gonna
Rise
leave,
like,
are
yeah, if you're
simply
gonna
not
leave.
long enough. It's just not long enough.
okay, I see what you mean there, but I don't know. I feel like you can really make it work.
You can if you like
Especially-
free the
yeah.
Rise up to like have if the enemy mid is feared of the enemy jungle, like of your jungler being there, then he doesn't step up to the wave, and Rise actually gets to like push for free, and then has a lot of time. Then you can like really make things happen with the Rise,
But-
especially if your jungler is actually there. You can then bring the jungler to the bot lane dive or wherever, right?
How do you contest Rise shove anyway, though? I feel like he gets lost chapter, and it's like, haha, like bad has
kill him.
turbo shove.
You kill him.
Yeah,
That's how
okay.
you do it. You kill him.
yeah.
You can make sure he can't shove because he's in base. And
You
Are
go with
there
Twisted
any-
Fade, Zinzao, and you kill the Rise.
Are there any kill mid laners in Div 2 specifically, though? Like, I know, like, yeah, there may be some good junglers that, but then you go to gank, right? And I know, like, phase rush can be annoying sometimes, but are there mid laners in Division 2 that can
Solo kill.
set that up and punish hard enough?
I think runtime mid can do that.
Okay.
I think Aston.
So if you're not playing runtime, Rise is unlocked instantly. Easy clap, free wit. No, I'm trolling.
I mean, Redemption definitely has insane solo kill potential as well.
True.
I
and
mean,
mid lane
that's
is-
like I think Wesley played 2 games of Rise, if I'm not mistaken, and like he just didn't have the lane priority really,
Mhm.
and then he got solo killed twice.
But yeah, I think Jonas is also a little bit right. You play TF and then jungler goes mid.
That's what
Surely-
I'm saying. Like you just go TF Zinzao, you kill the Rise, because what's the Rise gonna do against TF Zinzao?
But why don't you just go and roam with Rise with his ult? You know, I feel like, not Rise, sorry, TF, because I feel like that's what he does.
Because then
I mean, you do that
unlock
afterwards.
the TF through that. Yeah. Like
You-
then
you
TF
collect- you
has
collect the
enough
Rise
gold
into
that he
fucking-
can basically perma shove midwave because red card and wild cards.
Yeah,
Sure,
you
sure,
just fucking kick the Rice into submission that he doesn't even want to leave his tower anymore. Then
Yeah.
shove your wave, let the cannon fucking sit under the enemy tower, and you just go like da 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 through the enemy everywhere, wherever you want to go, because that's TF. Oh,
Alright.
your jungler, like, you shove wave, your jungler is free to do whatever the fuck you want with TF.
But just coming back to it then. So what is our starting lineup overall?
Okay. Well, let's talk about the subs first, right? We want to
Oh, you
have
want okay? So sure,
aggressive
sure.
AD and passive AD. So I think,
Peninsula League things.
I think that's a good call.
Sure.
I think
I'm
League
happy
things
with
looked really good mechanically.
I'll
What's the
put myself
what's the
on the
last sub?
reserves bench
You're
for
the
that
last
one.
one.
No. I put myself on. We already got
Oh,
280
okay.
carries.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
happy
You're
to
the
take a
third
step
one.
back.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm third pick. You know, it's okay.
Go
It's
on.
okay.
Rango, if you had to pick a seventh player, who would you go for?
A 7-player.
Mhm.
Who didn't get in that you maybe wanted?
Yeah, I mean, the Peninsula League things is what I would go for.
Yeah,
Get that flexibility.
but that's six
Oh,
players.
Yeah, that's six.
That's
Okay, yeah,
six.
that's
There's
6.
one of them
Wait,
start.
didn't we
Yeah.
already had like another sub?
We had potential mid jungle 2v2.
Oh yeah, we had
Frey.
Frey, and I would go
Oh.
Frey and Wengo. I would go
Well,
Frey Wengo.
I
But
kind of
you
agree,
you
but
can't have Frey and Wengu. Like
I
you
feel
can
like they
only
do the
have.
same thing.
You
Yeah.
think so?
Oh wait, you can. Yeah, you can have Frey Wengu. Sorry,
You
sorry.
can, but I feel like again they both kind of do the same thing.
So far. Yeah.
So I'd like
I
to see
think
from
Frey. I think Frey, like Wengu, is way more of the solid.
Sure.
Just sit back, relax, chill, and carry late game.
Okay.
I feel like Frey, you just give him some gold early game, he
Yeah.
wants to take over game. I think that's the difference between them. I might be
mean-
wrong and not seen enough of both, but
That also probably fits pretty well with just league things, right?
yeah.
Sure. But I'd like to see a bit more role diversity from my final sub. So I'm actually gonna go out and say Dragon Skull sub. Because he's seen him play mid, we've seen him play top. I think he plays a bit of jungle, and we've literally seen like I don't think War Unicorns haven't gone a series or a draft where they haven't done like, yo, mid lane goes top and we take a crazy support. Like as far as diversity is concerned, and I think just a general fill player, Dragon Skull is going to be a more contested player and a more like versatile player. You know.
I mean, you're looking at it now in the way of, like how we really draft teams or like collect teams right now, right? Because now with 7-player rosters,
yeah,
as a captain, you look for players that are as subs that are versatile. But if you just think about it, like, okay, I have all my players always ready for the match, I think then it would be different, right?
But like that makes it
true,
dangerous. Like he's not. I don't think he's thinking about Dragon Skull as someone that you like emergency subbing, but like someone that could be dangerous because like, well, they're subbing Dragon Skull, and what is he gonna do now? And like, oh my God, he's playing set AD carry. Like what?
That being said, yes, but also it's like, why are we picking subs if we're assuming our whole roster can start day in day out?
Because we're like having the Gumayushi Teddy thing where it's like, oh, we want the more aggressive AD versus the more passive.
I don't know. I still like Dragon Skull. I think he's versatile. I think he's got enough knowledge of each lane to like throw a real spanner in the works, like what you were saying. Like my guy could play set support, set mid, set top, set Yumi bot, set jungle.
Senna, hello. Set Senna.
Yeah, he can do some crazy stuff. Like, and I feel like actually a lot of people on his team woo, because I think they're a bit in the dark at the moment. But I feel like as far as versatility is concerned, like, bro, they'll like. I see their drafts, and every time I look at their drafts, I'm like, okay, I know that they've drafted like, I don't know, Caitlyn, but that could be a grasp Caitlyn top lane. That only with them do I think that's ever a possibility, and I think that's an important like wild card potential there.
I like that. I think final thing, guys. Let's look at the schedule, right? Let's at least talk a little bit about some of the upcoming games. Friday.
We talking about Div 2 or Div 1 or
Div 2,
just...
Div 2 only. Today is Div 2 only.
Okay.
Oh my God, there's so much layout on Saturday now. What is this? There is like how many
it's
games?
all on the same day. Yeah, it's all at the same time.
It's getting a little.
2 games on the 4th, 2 games on the 5th, right? Or am I wrong? Where there were some reschedules.
So there's 1 on the 3rd, and then there's
Okay.
4 on the 4th.
Yeah.
Then there, oh my god. Then there's 3 on the 5th. 1 on the 6th.
Well, let's just go through one by one then. So
Oh,
the
2
first
on the
game is what?
Well, the first
Is
Div
it-
2 game here is Uwu versus Runtime, and then you guys versus Unknown Enemy.
Sure.
So-
Well, start with Ubu versus Runtime, right?
Have they played each other? No, they were. Yeah, they were in the same group, right?
If I remember correctly, I think they might have been. I'm
Yeah,
gonna double
yeah,
I
check that.
think they
Yes.
were, and I think CCG and Flash Forces were also in that group, and they're also playing each other.
Yeah. I don't know who did the randomization on that thing, but the program he used was fucking
Well-
dog shit, clearly.
We do know from past experience that Runtime did beat out Ubu. So I think we can expect the same again. I think what I like. I think both early game teams are actually going to be pretty solid.
This is a
But I
best
think-
of 3 now, remember?
Yeah,
Like that
I think
changes
it's
a lot.
yeah. As games go to mid and to late, Runtime I think are gonna slowly start to run away with it. Personally,
I haven't seen enough from Uwu to be confident in them, especially in
Sure.
their early games. Like, yeah, the level 1s look really, really good, right? Like, that's some real
Mhm.
creativity.
Mhm.
But I think that level 1s and, like, creative movement and stuff like that matters a lot more in best of 1s. And
But
best
we
of 3s. Go on.
we have also seen. I feel like Runtime also against slightly stronger teams. You saw versus Curtain Call, and I think also versus Flash Forces. They also find themselves running out of steam in the late game, if I remember correctly. Because I feel like
Could
for
because
them,
of that,
a lot of their.
hmm.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, no.
Don't wanna.
Continue.
I just thought that their early games are normally quite strong, but then and their team fighting is normally quite good. But I feel like a lot of times versus just off the top of my head, the stronger teams in that group, they found themselves bleeding gold frequently across the map. And as the mid and the later games showed up, the gold lead started to stack up, and it kind of played against them.
I think they flipped too much. I think I talked
Mhm.
about how much that AD carry, for example, likes to flip it. And they
Burger
flipped
flip,
a little bit too much, in my opinion. And, like, they flipped all across the map.
Mm-hmm.
Except top lane.
But yeah, I'd like to see. I'd like to see a close game, and I'm a big underdog fan. I'd like to see Ubu just go for it and come out with the win. But we'll see. We'll see. We know that Runtime did win last time, so they got to be the expected winner of that best of 3. I feel like, but I'm
I
not
feel
sure.
like we're gonna see mental be way more important now. Which teams
True.
have proper mental to hold out those best of 3s?
Mm.
Because like getting smacked first game because of a dumb flip might ruin some teams' complete mental for the other game too, and other teams just are steadfast, just keep going. Like I think that's
Sounds
think
really good for
mental-
Insomnia,
yeah.
to be honest.
yeah. I think Insomnia is gonna fucking shine in these best of 3s.
I agree. But, like, I know you have to go pretty soon, Brady. So let's.
Mhm.
We can't do all the matches, but let's briefly, like, foreshadow Unknown Enemy versus Redemption for us.
Well, it's
What can
interesting,
you,
right?
What can you say without leaking?
Well, they're gonna have some strong players, right? But I also don't want to leak our team comps and our tactics a little bit. But I think you can see, for us, there's gonna be a lot of burger flipping. But like, we know we're gonna burger flip before we go into burger flip. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But like, I think it's safe to say Unknown Enemy are gonna be one of the stronger teams in the tournament. So talking about my team like they're going to be the underdogs is, I think, the smart way to go into this, because obviously we don't know how we're going to measure up yet. So I think we're going to make things scrappy. We're going to try and like take away from like, hey, we're all just going to sit tight and let like Wengu and Webby scale up and do what they do. You know, like I don't want to sit and wait for them to make plays. I want to.
It's gonna be a fist fight.
Yeah, I want to take them out of their comfort zone a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
I said it. Me and Doe, if we go in level 2, we're gonna burger flip the game every time, and it is what it is. If we get first blood, it's good. If we don't,
I think because of the draft that Unknown Enemy has put themselves in twice at least, and their 2
Mhm.
losses, I think that they with the way that they drafted, they were not very willing to actually flip the game and be like aggressive, and that sort of meant that because the other teams like RT1 kept forcing on them, kept making proactive moves, I think that there was a lot of cases where they fell behind because they didn't
Sure.
have the agency. So I think if I were to like predict a way that I see a completely unknown team go into unknown enemy XD,
Mhm.
it would be through trying to force them to play passively and to play defensively. And yeah, that would
Sure.
be my suggestion. Rango, any
Yeah,
last words? Any final thoughts?
Just flip it. No,
I like
I don't know. How did we win against unknown enemy? Pace. We had just a different pace in the early game.
True.
The macro of us was just way better,
And you kept
even
diving the Aphelios, right?
who? The
You
poor
had-
man
you
just
had no-
just
you had
just
Nocturne
lived in the
Leona?
fountain.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
true,
poor
true.
man lived in the fountain. Like
I
it
don't
was
know if he
so
was
sad for
playing
him.
CS:GO and walked into a smoke, or if he was playing League because he constantly had a gray screen.
True. Like the man, you don't want to be in those shoes, right? You don't want to be the ADCs when Nocturne, Leona, Galio gets picked.
And you don't
just
have
pain.
Thresh.
Yeah, will Trash help if the poor man can't even click the lantern?
If there was any possibility of help, I think the only way he could live potentially is with Thresh, but without there is zero possibility, right?
Yeah, that's when your Thresh just throws lantern the moment he sees Leona, right? And you just play super back. I feel.
I think
Also,
that's
it's
a
such a.
reasonable way.
I mean, yeah, but how else? Like Leona stun lands, right? E connects, Q connects. Well,
He had cleanse, so he cleanses the Leona or he sidesteps it depending on his mechanics, and then he gets lantern when the Nocturne comes in, so he gets Nocturne art. Then he takes the lantern, so whatever
Yeah.
comes at him isn't actually on him, but it's trying to slowly get to him. And in that case, you're
You can
running
start, yeah.
slowly into Aphelios, which is a
yeah, what he
recipe
wants.
for
Yeah,
disaster.
yeah. I mean, yeah, true.
Depends
But-
on whose perspective we're looking at, boss man.
True.
Yeah, but maybe the Thresh would have made a difference, but it would still mean that both Thresh and Aphelios had to like play it perfectly. Meanwhile, Leona, Galio, and Nocturne can like play 80% and still murder them.
Well, I think that kind of wraps up the episode. Bit of a shorter one. Brady, thank you for taking the time today.
True.
It was been a pleasure, and I'm really excited to see you guys in Division 2. I'm really excited for Division 2 in general.
So am I, considering I'm playing in it.
Yeah.
You know. Listen, I bring the excitement. All right, it's fine. Don't worry. I'll make it entertaining for you. I'll make the games really.
Do you wanna tell me on broadcast whether you're gonna be coming back to cast a game or two, or am I gonna be lonely?
Oh yeah,
forever?
100%. Especially for like Div 1 games. Like, I mean, Div 2, I might be a bit more biased these days, but like, yo, whenever I'm available to cast, you can find
That's
me on
wonderful,
twitch.tv/Supreme League Europe.
That's like good stuff. That's like good.
Yes, sir.
That's
I mean,
allowed.
I see him in chat at the moment, but our boy Jonas just needs to come back.
Yeah.
Like Jonas, we miss you. Like the high quality. I feel like him and Brady together with FMA can just do like insane casting. I'm
Let's
really
go,
excited
let's
to watch
go.
everything.
True,
Well,
same.
Thank you guys so much for watching today. It's been a pleasure, as I said. I love doing these podcasts, so we'll bring you guys more with kind of different content ideas like we had today. Thank you for tuning in. See you on Friday with the matchup between Curtain Call Gaming and I think Flash Forces. Yes, indeed. First match of the Supreme League Europe, the official part of
Spicy
the
one.
regular season. A spicy one as well. A lot of stakes. Thank you for tuning in. See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye bye, guys.
Bye.